Long ago, in a small village surrounded by thick forest and red earth, there lived a young hunter named Kato. Kato was not rich. He was not powerful, but he was brave, and he was known for going deeper into the forest than any other hunter. The elders often warned him. The forest has eyes, they would say, and not everything that walks there is human. But Kato only smiled. "I fear no tree and no shadow," he would reply. The village was peaceful. Children played near the stream. Women pounded yam in the morning sun. Men worked on their farms. And at the center of the village stood the king's compound. Strong walls made of clay and guarded by fierce royal guards. The king was wealthy. Very wealthy. His treasure house was filled with gold coins, golden cups, bracelets, and necklaces. The gold had been passed down from his father, and his father before him. The villagers believed the gold was protected by powerful ancestors. No one dared to steal from the king. No one. The night everything changed. One evening, Kato went hunting alone. The moon was full and bright. The forest was quiet. Too quiet. Even the insects seemed afraid to sing. Kato walked deeper into the trees, searching for antelope. Instead, he found something strange. In a small clearing, he saw a hut, but there had never been a hut in that part of the forest. Smoke rose gently from its roof. Kato felt cold. "Who lives here?" he whispered. As he stepped closer, the door slowly opened. An old woman stepped out. She was very old. Her back was bent. Her hair was white like cotton. Her eyes were sharp and bright like fire. "You are brave, young hunter," she said in a voice that sounded both soft and strong at the same time. Kato swallowed. "I did not know anyone lived here, grandmother." The old woman smiled. "I live where I am needed." Kato did not understand what she meant. She looked at him carefully. "You are poor," she said. Kato felt ashamed but nodded. "Yes, you hunt every day. Yet your house is small. Your clothes are worn. And your mother is sick." Kato's heart began to beat fast. How did she know about his mother? "Yes," he said slowly. The old woman stepped inside the hut and returned with a small clay pot. She handed it to him. "Inside this pot is gold," she said. "More gold than you have ever seen." Kato's hands shook. "Why are you giving this to me?" The old woman's eyes became serious. "You must promise me something." "What is it?" "You must tell no one how you got it. If you speak of me, if you speak of this hut, or of tonight, something terrible will happen." Kato hesitated. He was not a foolish man, but he was desperate. "I promise," he said. The old woman stared into his eyes for a long time. "Remember your promise," she whispered. Then she closed the door. The hut disappeared. Yes, it disappeared before his eyes. Kato stood alone in the clearing, holding the clay pot. His legs felt weak. Slowly he opened the pot. Inside were shining gold coins. Real gold. More gold than he had ever imagined. The story he should not have told. Kato ran home. He hid the pot under his sleeping mat. All night, he could not sleep. He kept thinking about the old woman, about her warning. But the gold was real. The next morning, he sold 2 small coins in the nearby town. The trader gave him more money than he had ever held in his life. Kato felt powerful. That evening, he met his friends near the fire. They laughed and talked as usual. One of them noticed his new sandals. "Ah, Kato, since when did hunters start wearing sandals like chiefs?" The others laughed. Kato tried to stay quiet, but pride began to grow inside him. "I have connections," he said. "Connections?" his friend Musa asked. "Since when?" Kato leaned closer to them. "Promise you will not tell anyone." They all nodded. He should have stopped there. He should have remembered the old woman's warning. But pride is stronger than wisdom. There is a hut in the deep forest, Cato whispered. An old woman lives there. She gave me gold. His friends burst into laughter. You expect us to believe that? I am serious, Cato said. She knew about my mother. She knew everything. Take us there, Musa demanded. Cato shook his head. She warned me. I must not speak of her, but you just did, one friend said jokingly. They all laughed again. Cato forced a laugh too, but deep inside, he felt a sudden cold wind. The next morning, the village woke up to shouting. Royal guards ran through the streets. Drums were beaten loudly. The king's treasure house had been robbed. Gold coins were missing. Many gold coins. Cato felt his stomach twist. He ran to his house. He pulled out the clay pot. The gold coins inside looked exactly like the king's coins, the same markings, the same shine. His hands began to shake. No, he whispered. This cannot be. Before he could think, there was a loud knock on his door. Boom! Boom! Cato, open the door. It was the royal guards. He opened slowly. They searched his house. They lifted his mat. They found the pot. The guard held up the gold. Where did you get this? Cato tried to speak. I found it. Found it where? The guard shouted. Cato remembered his promise. He stayed silent. The guards tied his hands. You are under arrest for stealing from the king. The villagers watched in shock as he was dragged away. His friends stared at him with wide eyes. They remembered the story he told the night before. The story had happened the next day. And now he was arrested for it. Before the king. Cato was brought before the king. The king sat on his throne, angry. Young hunter, the king said, you were brave to steal from me. I did not steal, Cato said. Then how did my gold enter your house? Cato opened his mouth. He wanted to speak about the hut, about the old woman, but he remembered her words. If you speak of me, something terrible will happen. The king's voice became cold. If you do not speak, you will remain in prison. Cato lowered his head. I cannot say, he whispered. The court gasped. The king stood up. Take him away! The night in prison. That night, Cato sat alone in a dark cell. He felt foolish. Why did he tell his friends? Why did he break his promise? Suddenly, the air became cold. Very cold. A shadow appeared in the corner. The old woman stepped forward. Her eyes were no longer soft. You spoke, she said quietly. I am sorry, Cato whispered. You broke your promise. I only told my friends. The old woman shook her head. Words are like seeds. Once planted, they grow. Cato fell to his knees. Please help me. The old woman looked at him for a long time. Tomorrow, tell the king the truth. All of it. And accept what comes. Then she vanished. The truth revealed. The next day, Cato asked to see the king. This time he told everything. About the hut. About the gold. About the warning. The court was silent. Some laughed. Some were afraid. The king looked thoughtful. Finally, the oldest elder in the village stood up. There is an old spirit in the forest, he said slowly. She tests the hearts of men. She gives wealth to see if they can carry it without pride. The elder turned to Cato. You were given a gift, but you allowed pride to speak for you. Cato lowered his head. Yes, the king sighed. The gold will be returned to the treasury. You will not go to prison, but you will work for the village for 1 full year without pay. Cato nodded. I accept. The lesson. After that day, the hut was never seen again. Cato worked hard for the village. He repaired roofs. He carried water for the elderly. He hunted only what was needed. He never boasted again. And whenever children asked him about the forest, he would smile and say, "The forest listens. So be careful what you say." Moral of the story. Pride can turn a blessing into trouble. And a promise is not a small thing. It carries weight. The story he told his friends happened the next day. And he was arrested for it. Because some secrets are not meant to be spoken.